Well, first of all, I can't say enough great things about Liberty and Carrie. First, it's a great university, and Carrie has always done things the right way. I don't know if there's anybody in the game that I have more respect for than I do him because, of course, I got to know him when he was at Clemson, and then he's had lots of opportunities to go other schools, but he stayed right there and built a dynasty, really, and just a great, great guy. And like I said, I have the utmost respect for him and his players. They all do everything the right way. So, but we're happy to come out with the win. It's been a couple weeks since we played. Thought it was very rusty at times. Our rebounding was, I don't know what words how you describe it, but it was pretty bad. So we got to do a lot better job with that. But overall, I was proud of these kids for pulling it out. We got a little wild at times out there, and Latifah settled us down. And then, we kept going, trying to go to these two. Of course, Stephanie was overplayed a lot, and but then a couple of the other ones knocked down some shots and everything. But these guys, they work hard and pull it through for us. And like I said, I knew it was going to be a tough game because Liberty's tough, and it's just typical of these first-round games that we've been seeing in both the men's and the women's tournament. So we're happy for the win, and we're looking forward to playing on Monday night. I was just glad to be back out there. I'm going to tell you, I've really worked hard this season health-wise, and I'm doing really, really good. But this whole week, I have been so stressed out, and I mean, it's a good stress, because I was so excited about the tournament. I mean, really. And, I can usually control that quite a bit. But I have just been so good stressed out. It's just with the anticipation, of the NCAA tournament, because we've worked hard. It's a great group of kids, as you can tell. I just want it so much for them. And the thing is, during the season, you make a mistake or something happens, well, okay, you got another game, you get another chance. Now, every play we call, every substitution we make, everything could be the difference in winning or losing a game. So I just want to make sure, but it's a good thing, so I'm so glad. And then, I thought a little bit about, where this time last year, but this was a rough week because I'd come out of my last treatment and my numbers were so low, and I couldn't even come over here. I lived 4 miles away, and I couldn't even come and sit in the top with a mask on, and, I begged them, and they said no. And but this, then my numbers started coming up, and they said, you get to the Final Four, and we'll probably let you go there. So, it was hard. That was tough. So this week is really fun. I cherish this week and the opportunity, to coach these kids and to be here. And at the beginning of the year, we wanted to host, and we wanted to be in the Greensboro, region and all that stuff. So, but I just don't want to let these kids down.
Coach, can you just talk about Latifah having a big performance today as a senior? I mean, she has been somewhat overshadowed, I think, maybe by some of the younger kids, but she had a big game.
Yeah, a couple people have said that she was one of the most underrated players in the ACC, and I agree with that because, she can step up and make the big plays, and, to put her in there, when I put her back in, they made a run, and we come down and made some not real smart passes and stuff, and I just said, Latifah, settle them down. Just go in, you know what to do, just settle them down and, call a couple plays and, let's get our composure back. And she goes in and does it, But that's experience, fifth-year senior and everything like that. And, she's, she knows what to do. So her and Brittany, I can just tell that to them, and they'll take care of. That's why I want the ball in their hands at the end, especially when the other team, we're ahead, and we're going to get it right there to either Brittany or Latifah.
Did you anticipate that coming into this game that the mid-range jumper was going to be a big weapon for you, just the way they were going to defend?
Well, because India and Danielle both had that shot all night because they were doubling Stephanie. Every time Stephanie's down around the basket, they were all over her. So that baseline jumper was open all night. And the mid-range, around the foul line area, they had that the whole time. Indy knocked a couple of them down, I think. So, but yeah, everybody's just doubling it out. They're just all over Stephanie. And, and I think Indy and Danielle have done a good job, but if Zelina was in there, that wouldn't be happening like that. I mean, Zelina would make enough noise that they'd have to guard her, and that would help Stephanie out.
Evan in the back.
9 threes attempted. It's not often that your team only goes out and shoots 9 threes. Was that by design, or is that because of the Liberty defense?
No, but that's a pretty good percentage. But we wanted to fast break, up and down the floor, that type of thing. But, that's a pretty good percentage. But we usually do shoot more than that. Our Duke game, we shot 24, but we were, 14 for 24, so I take that too. So.
Coach, how do you feel you responded to Liberty's height advantage and their...
Man, that's probably the biggest team we've played all year. I think they're bigger than Duke, to be honest with you. They are. They're big, and they're good. So I mean, I looked at their games. Of course, their conference, but they played at Minnesota with their players that before their players got a couple of their players got hurt. They played a really close game, and so I mean they're tough. They're real tough, but that size, and they're so well coached. I mean, Carey, he's a post coach.
Any other questions?
Coach, you heard what your players said about you. What does that mean as a coach? I know you want to coach for your players, but it sounds like they want to play for you. Well,
it means a lot because, it's not all about basketball, and even coming back, I tell people, okay, this is my 40th year, but in a lot of ways it feels like my first. And it's not, I mean, we've really, we've done so much basketball this year, but I've done so many other things with them too. Because, I'm just trying to teach them life lessons and what's really important. It's not like basketball's not, but that, a lot of other things, and I think a lot of them, I've actually had 2 or 3 letters and emails and conversations with parents talking about how much their daughters have matured, this year, and how they have talked to them about different things. And so I'm just really trying to teach them a lot of other things besides just basketball. And, we have great relationships, and I'm like a mama bear, and sometimes I have to call them in and get on them about something and straighten something out, and this type of thing. But yet, like I said, they know I'm always there for them. I've got their back, whatever. And so I've really enjoyed, because I didn't know these kids last year. I mean, we had all those freshmen, and they didn't know me, and I didn't know them. And so, we've done a lot of team type things this year, and I just enjoy sitting in the locker room and listening to their music some, and they always make sure they got the good stuff on when I'm in there, and but I just I hang out with them some, and they enjoy that whenever I do stuff like that. So it's fun.
You don't know what's going to happen out there right now, but a couple of teams you're a bit familiar with because they've been here in recent years. Talk a little bit about what you know about Ohio State.
Ohio State's on a run. They are really good. And we played James Madison last year here and just barely beat them right after Christmas. They're always good. And then Ohio State, like I said, is playing really, really well. And so, I think that game can go either way. And, we got to play a whole lot better Monday night if we want to go to Greensboro.